Okay, so today we're going to talk about different marketing ideas. We are in the business of marketing. And really, you're going to approach this with two different viewpoints. One, you'll catch yourself saying, I don't have anybody to talk to. And the other, which is how you should be thinking, is there are thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of people in my surrounding areas that all need what it is that I do. And I just need to figure out how to reach out and start getting in front of them. So, marketing is you in action. It really is what it is. So we'll talk about maybe 25 or 30 different ideas on some different marketing approaches that you can use. The first one is your natural market. So these are the people that you already know and you're connected to. Now, I know as I trained advisors over the years, one of the things that they can be hesitant about is reaching out to those that they know. It's like they have this idea that they've got into this business, and I'll ask them, I'll say, well, do you believe in what we do? And they'll say, well, yes, it's great. Everybody needs it. Then why wouldn't you want to reach out to those that you love and care about first? I mean, for me, I wasn't about to go out and help everybody else become financially successful and then leave my family and friends and all those that I care about behind. So if that's maybe a hesitation, honestly, just being very direct with you, you aren't bought into what it is that you do. You don't think that it's important enough, that it's vital enough, and that it's necessary. Because if everybody you knew had cancer and you had the cure, I know you wouldn't go home and hide it under your bed. And that's exactly what it is that we do. I mean, obviously, that's a very, very, very just direct, um, you know, crazy example, but people really kind of have financial cancer. Even the people you think don't need what you do, they absolutely need what you do. Okay. I have yet to sit in front of somebody that I haven't been able to help, and I've sat in front of a lot of people. Okay. So the first is your natural market. The second is you can do events at retirement communities. So a lot of retirement communities will let you come in, and you bring in some coffee and donuts. A lot of times they'll have meetings that are already scheduled that they'll let you come and sponsor that meeting, and they'll give you 10 or 15 minutes at the very beginning of it to speak. Or I've done events where they'll put me in the room for free. They have these nice rooms with TVs or projectors. They have TVs all over the retirement community facility where they'll put my flyer and advertise for me. They have a local community paper that they'll put just a full color page that will go out to their members. And then some have even allowed me to I've made postcard size basic marketing pieces for the event, what the topic was, the day, the time, all of that. And I've just created them, had them printed, cut, and all of that. And then I give them to their mail room, and they'll drop them straight in the mailboxes for me. So it just depends on what different communities allow. But it's great. You can get into those communities and brand yourself, kind of teach a seminar series to them. And there's a lot of different presentations that we have created, different ideas around that. So if that's something you'd like to do, let me know and I'll help you with it. The third, referrals from your current clients. That should be one of the first places that you're reaching out to. And I know as I've talked to people, advisors are like, well, they don't want to give me referrals until they see what it is that my investment's done. That just makes no sense. You think that they want to see you make a bunch of money and be successful, and then pass on the idea after they've watched it all happen, or would they rather be a part of it? Okay, that just makes no sense. It's like, yeah, imagine talking to one of your friends. Hey, how did you make your $1,000,000? Oh, well, I met with this advisor. He gave me this great idea on this real estate stuff, and I made a bunch of money after the fact. And or would they have liked to have made it with you, right? So that idea that your clients want to wait, you're projecting that on them if that's the messaging that's being created. So referrals from current clients. 4, creating partnerships with CPAs, with loan officers, with real estate agents, property and casualty agents, commercial insurance agents. Now, as CPA, you want to look for somebody that's doing between 400 to 500 tax returns, and they have about a 50% mix of individual returns and business returns. That's a great way to break in to the small business market. Loan officers. A loan officer, you want somebody that's at least doing 50 loans a year, and they want to get that to 60 or 70, maybe 80 or 90. but you don't want somebody that's not doing a lot of business there. You don't want somebody that's just doing 1 or 2 deals a month. Now, maybe you catch somebody that is building up to that, and that's their goal, and you kind of want to grow with them. That's not a bad thing at all. Real estate agents, you want somebody that's doing a minimum of 25 to 30 transactions already a year, somebody that's pretty established. Or again, you maybe catch somebody that you know is just a go-getter, a hustler, and you kind of want to grow with them, but you want somebody that they want to get to 40 or 50 transactions a year, okay? Give you an idea, somebody doing about 30 deals a year in real estate, they're making, you know, somewhere between $150,000 to $200,000 a year. So again, you've got a kind of a higher identity guy. They'll put you in front of some good people. Property and casualty agents, a lot of them don't even write life insurance. If they do, they write just a small enough policy to attach it to the auto insurance so that it's free for the client. Literally, they get life insurance at the same cost. But there's a lot of opportunity to market to them and to market to their current clients and to split the business back with them. Commercial insurance, again, they're in talking to business owners. You know, they're in commercial buildings. Great network, great contacts. What I also didn't put on here is you have, you know, the why can't I think of it here? You have your estate planners are great people to work with, different attorneys. All those are great people to network into and contact. And we have a total trusted advisor process that really turns this into an interview process where they're telling you why it is that they want to work with you versus you trying to convince them that they should want to work with you. Okay. 5, create marketing drip campaigns for clients and people that you've worked with. Use BombBomb video marketing. So we have some plug and play drip campaigns that you can already participate in. You'll just need to get connected to our BombBomb account for that to happen. But you want to create drip campaigns where people are always hearing from you. You go out and create these relationships with these CPAs. Part of creating that relationship is creating multiple points of contact. You know, I'll sit with guys and they'll say, well, yeah, I met with this guy. He hasn't sent me a referral. I sent him one referral, but I haven't gotten anything back. And I'll say, okay, when did you first create that relationship? Well, it's been 6 months or it's been a year. And I'll say, how many times in 6 months or a year have you talked to them, touched them with some type of content, had lunch with them, did a dinner with you and your spouse and them and their spouse? And they say, well, I've never done any dinners. Or I've talked to them maybe 2 or 3 times. It's like you can't expect to build a relationship of trust by 2 or 3 points of contact. You want to find any and every reason to reach out to them, and that's creating, again, a relationship. So taking some interest in the things that they're interested in. And 2, you want to get your spouses together and have dinner. It gives them a chance to see a different side of you in an intimate setting. The other thing is you can create these videos that say, hey, this is what we do in the insurance world. This is what we do with the solo 401ks, the simple IRAs, the annuities, the real estate, whatever it is. It gives you a chance to be hitting them all the time. And the other thing is with your current clients, you may not have shared other things that you do, and it gives them a chance to forward. Maybe you send them a video about something, and they can just forward that on to their brother that says, hey, watch this. It's 2 minutes. This is pretty interesting stuff. Okay, so your videos want to be what it is that you do, talk about the new things you're excited to talk about, and then if they're to business owners, what is it that you can do for their business, okay? Number 6, target businesses in the same part of town and drop in with something new once a week and ask to meet with the owner, okay? I promise you, you show up enough times in life, things just start to happen, and there's different ideas that you can show up with. Drop off some donuts, drop off a vegetable tray, a Snickers for the owner. You know, why wait? Give me a call back. You know, hey, I thought I dropped the Snickers off. Like Snickers says, why wait, grab a Snickers? Why wait, call me back? You know, I've got some ideas that will absolutely blow you away. Whatever it is that you want to say there. This is one that I've done. You know, a small Nike shoe where you say, just do it. You know, love to meet with you. Just do it. Give me 10 minutes of your time. You know, all these creative things that as they're being marketed to will set you apart from your competition. A box of cereal and milk. You know, this is, again, another idea that I've done. Dropped off a bowl with my contact information a box of Cheerios and a small thing of milk. Now, it sounds crazy. It is crazy because you want to be unforgettable as you're doing your marketing, but target specific areas and just work that area over and over and over and over again. I promise you some things will happen. Drop off shirts with a creative saying. I mean, I've given shirts that say, don't criticize my swag, find yours or something. I've dropped off an entrepreneur shirt, all kinds of things, and people love them. Totally has worked. I've written business as a result of it. Number 7, offer to put together our custom read books for their employees. So as you're meeting with small business owners, maybe, I've talked to advisors and they say, they picked up the individual business of a business owner, their IRAs and whatnot, but they've never gotten into their 4 or 5 employees. And most of the time, if they have a business where there's only 4 or 5 employees, they don't offer anything in the way of benefits. We'll create a benefits package for them. And one of the things you can do is put together the retirement plans, and you can brand it and position it like it's coming from the company. It will add value to them, and their employees will love it because it will feel like their employer is doing something additional for them. So it's a win-win-win for everybody, okay? 8, call companies to see if you can set up tables at their work. Maybe they've got, some companies will have, maybe a couple times a year where they'll let vendors come in and set tables up, or you can drop off flyers about managing their 401k, seeing if you can come and teach a lunch and learn where you bring in some sandwiches or whatnot and come teach their employees about their 401k and what it is that they can do. Because what happens a lot of times is the employee never gets any advice as it relates to their 401k plan. They have nobody coming in to follow up with them on that. And aside from maybe the open enrollment where they never get any direction, they love that. I mean, it's the number one complaint employees have about their 401k or their 403b or 457 plan is that they don't get any advice around it. Number 9, tables at local gyms. A lot of gyms will have customer appreciation events. So you can come in and set up tables and bring some bananas and granola bars and water, and that's a great way to give stuff. The gyms love it because you're giving some of those things to their customers that come in. So maybe like out here we have LA Fitnesses, Snap Fitness, 24-hour fitness. 24 hours aren't usually as good, but like the LA Fitnesses, Mountainside, and not all gyms will allow it. Some of them only do it once a quarter. I've had guys that they initially only would allow them to do it once a month, but they drop off bagels and build the relationship with the gym manager, and he on his own would authorize them, like they'd let our guys come in any day they want, and they would even tell us the best days to set the tables up. Hey, our packed days are, Tuesdays and Thursdays between 3 and 5 o'clock, and our guys would set up tables during that prime time and kill it, okay? Number 10, see if current networking groups, maybe that you're a part of, will allow you to teach a seminar series to participants. Maybe if you're not in a networking group, you can go to meetup.com and find all kinds of different networking groups, okay? Maybe you start one and you'll kind of create a seminar series where guys will, you get to teach on different topics, okay? Number 11, schedule intimate dinners with top-level potential referral partners and spouses. So maybe you've got a center of influence. Go out to dinner. I was just meeting with one of our guys here the other day, and he had one of his best years last year, doubled his income from the year before, so he ended up making 60 or 70,000 last year. Qualified for 2 trips and got a land parcel that is worth about $30,000. So he had a 6-figure year for all intensive purposes, and I asked him, I said, how much do you allocate to put back in your business? He's like, oh, I don't do that. I mean, I got to save it. I can't do that. His wife just had finished nursing school, so he's putting big chunks of money towards her debt. And listen, I'm all for paying down debt. The thing about it is when you put money into paying something down, there's no return. If your debt is 2 to 3% or 5% or 6%, the most you're going to get a return on that money is 6%. You're going to save yourself an interest. Well, take a little bit of that, because if you'll reinvest in yourself, in your wardrobe, into marketing, that can return, 200% the following month. You want to take at least 10% of everything you make and reinvest that in some way, shape, or form back in to new money-making opportunities in your business. See, I'm getting these Grant Cardone things. It's awesome. Anyways, so again, you make $2,000. That's $200 that you need to treat as a bill. Because I was kind of talking to him. He says, I can't do it. I got all these bills. I said, the difference between you and I is I look at that as a bill, right? I said, I was telling him, I said, even if you started and set like a relationship budget of $100, is your cell phone more than 100? Is your car insurance more than 100? Yeah. Well, none of those things give you a return. And so, again, as a general rule of thumb, 10% of everything you make. So you make 10 grand, that's $1,000 that now you put into your marketing fund to get out and make things happen. By the way, if you won't invest in you, you can't expect anybody else to. And that's the difference between somebody who's thinking big and somebody who's just small-minded and doesn't want to grow. So I know that might be direct. It might be very hard to hear. I'm just telling you, those are the facts. My mentors over the years, it's one thing that they taught me, and I know that's why I've grown in this business and have a lot of opportunity to still grow. Number 12, use LinkedIn to set appointments with prospective referral partners. You can go into LinkedIn in your area, find a CPA group, and connect with some CPAs in there that you can go sit down with. Real estate agents, loan officers. I mean, you can find anybody and everybody that you need to network with using LinkedIn and set meetings up to start your pipeline. Post a positive social media message daily on Facebook, Instagram. People are attracted to positivity. Do a Facebook Live, okay? Where you just 1 to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're giving some idea about something positive, okay? Number 14, get involved in a nonprofit or a charity. Donate your time somewhere, okay? You're around other people that are donating their time. Chances are they're in a position where they can do that, and you'll start to get into some different networks. You need to create opportunities where you're around people, and getting involved in a charity can be a great way to do that. I've already talked about this. Join a meetup group, but you can go on to meetup groups and look at different networking events, but also you can join real estate groups, maybe a rock climbing group, a group about food where they try different restaurants all the time, a running group, soccer, flag football, motorcycle group, whatever it is that you're interested in, you need to be around people that do those things. One thing I've encouraged, we've got one of our guys that bought a brand new Harley last year, and I said, you should be out riding that thing in groups. And he's like, well, some of these guys, they take off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and they're riding. I said, perfect. Take off at 2 o'clock and go riding. He's like, well, I don't think my wife's going to be happy with that. I said, why? You're networking. He looked at me all funny. I said, are you kidding me? What kind of people can afford to go ride a Harley at 2 o'clock? They're retired, which means they have money, okay? And by the way, you're a young guy in your 20s. Don't you think they're going to be curious why you're out riding a Harley at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you can build a relationship that way? I said, you're working as you're riding. It's like she doesn't get mad when you go to a lunch appointment. She could say, well, you're just there eating lunch because you're hungry. No, you're working. That's the business we're in, is the relationship business. Maybe you have a muscle car. Get into a muscle car group. I know one guy that got into the BMW club out here and then eventually moved in. He was the president, and he wrote a ton of land banking as a result of being in that group. So you've got to look for these opportunities to just get in front of people. And to be quite frank, these are ideas that I sat down in 30 minutes and just rocked off the top of my head. So you've got to always be thinking of new ways that you can get in front of people. And here's a whole bunch of different ways. I guess 16 different ways right off the bat. Any one of these ideas, you do it consistent and long enough, would produce more business and grow your business and create sustainability for you. And more importantly, you'd be happy. But the thing is, you've got to commit to being patient, but not being patient without taking action. So as you're taking action, have patience. Be committed to what it is you're doing in terms of marketing. And don't just stick one pole in the water. You have a bunch of different things going for you. It's never a bad thing. So hope these ideas helped you. Anything that I can do for you, reach out, let me know. Love to see what else we can do. Have a great day.